Hey, what is up, guys? This is Brad with Osan Fitness, and today I got a video for you, a little form check video. I'm trying my camera right here, guys. Problem sometimes. Yeah, so anyway, little form check video. This is for Seth, kind of a friend of the channel. He submitted a couple of videos and wanted to know what I thought. And so the first video here is Seth doing some priming with the band, the band training that I recommended, and just kind of getting some sets in. And then he does a couple of heavier sets after that. So we'll take a look at both of his videos and see what we see. All right, here we go. So this is my buddy Seth getting warmed up, doing some band pulls. He's just got that band setting up over top of the bar to kind of get himself nearly primed. It's a really great way to kind of force yourself to stack up more appropriately. And so that's what he's doing here as he gets set up. Let's jump forward a little bit. Back. Okay, so here he sinks in. I like this right here. He's got this flat back, real strong flat back, not any thoracic rounding, not really giving up anything in the thoracic spine. And, looks like he's in a nice stable position from which to pull. Pulls, blocks out, everything looks good here. Like that neutral head. Just kind of keeping a neutral position with his head. Now, one thing here, so you see this kind of overemphasized movement in the lower back, and I'll play it one more time. Watch. See how it kind of overemphasizes this, this kind of straightening of the back. That might play into future issues, but we'll kind of keep going and see what we think here. Yeah, see, you can see it right there. That back is having to come further back. And those hips are already forward. And so he's trying to finish out that movement by kind of bringing his back a bit further. I think that the timing between his hips locking forward and his back straightening might be a little bit off. So Seth, that's something that might kind of rear its ugly head here in the future. That beeping is just some food cooking. But yeah, we might have to look into this. I think it'll play in as you continue on. But we'll see what we think of the unbanded video here. A little bit out of focus, no big deal. Getting himself set up. I'm not exactly sure what the bar weight is. Looks to be at least 225, probably more. 245 maybe. jump you ahead a little bit here, Seth. So good stable position. I like the the position of the back here as you begin to initiate. Let's watch what happens. There you go. See how this back. I don't know if the slow-mo will catch it enough. Nope. So we'll play it one more time. It's like this very pronounced, back extension almost. See, a very pronounced back extension. Again, hips are already forward. Hips are already there, and it's the back extension to try to finish the movement, it looks like. There, see? It's a really subtle thing, but there it is. You can see it way more pronounced there as he begins to fatigue out. And that'll do that. Okay, so Seth, what I'm seeing here on your movement is, the deadlift looks pretty good. You start out in a really great position. You look to be very stable and secure. The weight's moving really well. There aren't really any big issues with what I see here. I also don't think that this is enough weight to really represent too high on the 1 rep max kind of a scale. So when you're dealing with slightly lower weight, you're not really going to see the pronounced breakdowns and flaws in form that you might see as you get toward that upper echelon of your strength. But you do some things here, I think, that will hint toward where some of those breakdowns are. And I mentioned that kind of overemphasize like back extension as you're leaning back to try to finish out that movement. And it looks like your hips are already forward. So what that tells me is that when you get to the upper echelon of your deadlift strength, you're probably going to have a lot of hard time with the lockout. So I feel like if we took you right up to 100%, 105%, whatever the case is, it's going to be you'll get it off the floor, but that lockout is going to prove itself to be kind of problematic because the hips aren't really helping you finish the lockout because your hips are already forward. So you have this kind of overemphasized arching of the back or pull extension of the back to try to complete the lift. And I feel like as you get toward the upper end of your strength, that is going to be a significantly limiting factor because the hips aren't coordinating with that back extension in order to maximize your efficacy. So I think that to kind of combat this, you should be doing some pull-throughs. You can do cable pull-throughs, you can do band pull-throughs, and really focus on driving the hips forward and extending the hips forward. What I would like to see happen with your deadlift is have that back extension and the hip drive forward, and to extend the hip forward, be more in unison, so that back is extending as those hips are extending as well, and you're getting more muscles kind of coordinating and doing the same thing at once. I think it'll be a little bit better for your deadlift. Another thing that you can do to really help with that hip extension is the hip thrusts. So you see the exercise where people kind of brace their shoulders on a bench, set a weight across their pelvis, and kind of extend the hip up in almost kind of a bridge. I think some hip extension work would help you as well. Really get the glutes firing, really get that posterior chain doing what it needs to do to kind of extend that hip forward. And I think that if you kind of build that into your training, I think that you can get that coordination piece between the hips and that lower back, or the back extending at the same time, to really maximize your efficacy and get yourself to a whole new level with your deadlifts. All in all, I think that your deadlift looks really great. It looks smooth and under control. You don't appear to be in any real pain. This recommendation I have for you is a really nitpicky kind of a thing to help you get to new levels with your deadlift. So take it for what it's worth. Hopefully the information or the idea helps you. And let me know in the comments below if you know what it is that I'm referring to by this kind of emphasized back extension, or if it's not making sense. but I think that it should make sense. At least I hope it does. And for any of you other viewers that are out there that can see this, it's a really good idea to look at yourself in third person, right? So film yourself from that extreme 90 degree, like the direct 90 degree angle, so that you can watch your form, and then also film yourself from directly behind or directly in front. Those are really the best angles for which to get recordings of yourself to make those determinations about what's going on with your own form. And if you have kind of a breakdown area, or your weak point is kind of what Seth says, obviously those same recommendations would fit for you to try to build up those weak points, bring that hip forward, and then hopefully work on that time in between the back extension and the hip extension. Anyway, I hope that this helps. Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to kind of weigh in on this. I'm sorry that it took me a little while to get it out. Been a lot going on here in Korea, and yeah, so my apologies, but those are my thoughts. Leave me any questions, comments, or concerns in the chat box below. I will respond. I appreciate the opportunity to try to help, and hopefully this idea, or this kind of form check video gives you some ideas for how you can kind of continue on and keep improving your deadlift. Yeah, guys, remember, no matter what it is you think you can't do, like hit new PRs and break new territory, you got to get in and train despite. You're either going to find an excuse or you're going to find a way. I appreciate you guys watching this video. You can help me out a lot with the likes, the shares, and the subscribes. And yeah, I'll make sure that I check you guys in that next video. Peace.